Newcastle United have agreed to sell academy graduate Elliot Anderson to Premier League rivals Nottingham Forest, according to reports. Anderson, 21, joined Newcastle when he was 8, making his first team debut in an FA Cup clash against Arsenal in January 2021. He spent the second half of 2021-22 on loan at Bristol Rovers and earned a long-term contract after scoring 8 and assisting 5 in 21 League Two matches. Tied down until 2026, the 21-year-old midfielder could be on the move after making 55 appearances for the Magpies, scoring no goals and providing 3 assists. Anderson is highly rated at St James Park, but Newcastle need to sell players, and the pure profit sale of the ex-Bristol Rovers loanee will be a huge boost. Eddie Howe's side have been forced to sell players due to the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules, PSR, and have reportedly agreed to sell Yankuba Minteh to Brighton and now Anderson to Nottingham Forest. Newcastle agreed £35 million sale of player Eddie Howe's. The latter story comes via transfer expert David Ornstein, who tells The Athletic that Newcastle have agreed a deal to sell Anderson to Nuno Espirito Santo's side. The Geordies are said to be reluctantly offloading their academy graduate to comply with PSR and avoid a potential points deduction. It is claimed that Anderson is willing to accept the move, with Newcastle set to balance the books by selling the 21-year-old and teenage winger Minteh to Brighton. News of Anderson's move to Forest has been reported elsewhere since Ornstein broke the news on Saturday evening. According to Newcastle transfer expert Keith Downey, the St James Park outfit will receive in the region of £35 million from Forest. Bloody great deal for Newcastle, that, by the way. Downey states that the player will have his Forest medical this morning, having spent the night in the Midlands. Again, it is claimed that Newcastle are reluctant to sell, while the player is also fairly reluctant to leave. Downey states that Anderson didn't want to leave his boyhood club, but personal terms were attractive. And the Scotland under-21 international knows Forest are now an established Premier League club. That's a conversation for another day, because we are not having it. The straight sale comes after Newcastle felt they were left with no choice but to sell someone like Anderson, despite Eddie Howe loving him. The last resort was taking a points deduction in a season they want to attack, but selling Anderson makes more sense and is what will happen. Newcastle have been linked with City ground winger Anthony Elanga, but the Swede will not be moving the other way in a swap deal. This transfer cannot be ruled out, with Ornstein adding that he is potentially heading to Newcastle in a separate deal.